Hallo? 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 Hallo?
A visit here in Wewelsburg, or we have a question in the mind. What is Wewelsburg? What means Wewelsburg?
Well, Wewelsburg is a Renaissance castle from the 17th century, which was built by the Prince Bishop of Paderborn, Dietrich von Fürstenberg, and it was a kind of hunting castle for him. He went there at the weekend and went for hunting and had some good time in that period. And in the following centuries, it was not used anymore by the Prince Bishop or by even other one. Only the Catholic priest lived there. And then it was renewed in the 20th century by the district of Büren. They wanted to have a cultural center here in the Wewelsburg castle. And after that, in the 1930s, then it was used by the SS. The Reichsführer SS, Himmler, rented the castle and wanted to have a meeting place, a special central point for his SS in this castle. So you see, it's not only one meaning of the castle which is important for us nowadays, but we have got a lot of parts, a lot of periods which are very interesting in the castle. So the time of the Renaissance castle, the Prussian time in the 19th century, and then the SS in the 20th century.
¿Por qué Heinrich Himmler pone su punto de mira o por qué se fija en el castillo de Wewelsburg?
Why Himmler chooses this castle?
Well, he was looking for a Westphalian castle. He wanted to have, at his best, he wanted to have a medieval castle here in Westphalian, and so he was shown the Wewelsburg castle, and even if it is not medieval, he said, well, that's okay, I can get it, I can rent it. And then he rebuilt this Renaissance castle, which was more looking like, in Germany you can say a Schloss, which is a difference to castle in English and to Burg. So it was a more formal Schloss, and then he rebuilt it and wanted to make a medieval castle out of it, which was very strong and fast. And because in his idea he wanted to have a Westphalian castle in this area, because for him it was a lot of tradition, Germanic traditions here in this area, and so he wanted to have here his meeting point.
Bitte, warum Sie sind hier? Bitte, warum Sie sind hier? Bitte, warum Sie sind hier?
Dentro de la sala de los generales quizás se encuentra el lugar más importante de Wewelsburg, que es la cripta. ¿Podrías hablarnos un poco de ella? ¿Sabemos lo que es realmente o qué función tenía?
And Obergruppenführersaal exists the crypt, the mythical crypt. What is expected to know today? They were doing the SS inside that room. You know, there are a lot of mythos. You have talked about it with Marcus in a lot of documentaries. But what can get today new about that? There's any new about that?
Well, there are two rooms. There's the Supreme Leaders Hall, the Obergruppenführersaal. Well, we think it is for representation purpose, but we do not know for what, especially because it was never used, this room. And the room and the hall beneath, the crypt, is because of its name, as the SS themselves called it crypt, crypta, Gruft. We guess that it should have been used for funeral things, as a kind of tomb or something like that, or maybe a place to honor dead SS men. And so even again, this room was never used, was not used by the SS, so we do not know what should be happened there. Because of the name crypt and the architecture, which you can still see, it is typical for tombs like mechanic crypts, and so of course we can guess that it should have been used for honoring dead SS men, but not really how and in what way should there be the eternal flame, or maybe some water inside the middle. We don't really know. So, and even now we cannot say, because we have no evidence for that. We only have the architecture and a lot of stories from former SS men who really wanted to tell their own stories. And
¿Eres infeliz estando aquí? ¿Eres infeliz estando aquí? ¿Eres infeliz estando aquí?
Nos encontramos cerquita de Wewelsburg, en un cementerio militar que está dedicado a los caídos en el frente del este en los últimos días de la contienda mundial, de la Segunda Guerra Mundial. Se pueden ver tumbas a lo largo de varios metros. Tenemos un campo dedicado a ellos, a todos los caídos en estas últimas fechas de la Segunda Guerra Mundial, marzo, abril. Y nos encontramos desde tumbas de soldados con nombre y apellidos, casi todos con edades muy bajas, para mayor tristeza, ¿no?, de los que visitamos estos lugares, porque nos muestran que en esas últimas fechas de la guerra se mandaba a morir a un matadero auténtico a los chavales prácticamente con 20 años menos, lógicamente, pero todos los soldados, casi todos los que vamos a ver aquí, son chavales con 20 y pocos años. También encontramos tumbas de gente más mayor, pero también nos vamos a encontrar piezas como esta, ¿no?, que nos indican la siguiente leyenda: un bekannter Soldat, un soldado desconocido, junto, por ejemplo, en este caso, la tumba que está a su izquierda, la número 118, con un bekannt, un desconocido. Hombre, mujer, no se sabe. Al fin y al cabo es un resto humano que se encuentra, a veces con placas identificativas, otras veces con documentación, y gracias a ello se ha podido fechar, se ha podido dar sepultura con nombre y apellido y con una fecha de nacimiento y fecha de muerte de los que están enterrados. En otros casos no tienen ni esa mínima despedida en un camposanto como este que encontramos en Wewelsburg, que invita a la reflexión, ya no solo por lo que significa un cementerio, sino por lo que es la consecuencia directa del horror de una guerra mundial.
¿Tienes miedo?
¿Tienes miedo? ¿Tienes miedo? ¿Tienes miedo?